So can we see the screen? Can we see our screen? My screen. Can we see the screen? Someone should please respond so we can start our class. Okay, no problem. So I'll be moving on. So before the end of today, the recording of yesterday's class shall be sent. Okay. So then I'll be moving on to CSS. So CSS is known as a cascading style sheet. So it is used to add styles to uh, markup file. So if the basic thing we are going to be needing is the creation of a CSS file. So I'll be starting with the CSS file. Let's first create a folder. So we have the CSS folder. So in our CSS folder, so we can then create a new file. So as I taught us in HTML, to create an HTML file, we add the .html extension. So to create a CSS file, we're going to be using the .css extension. Or before going into that actually, so we have three methods in which we can add styles to our HTML, our markup file. So let me just quickly get rid of this. Okay, so we all know the rudiments of HTML. So, okay, let's start with, let me have an H1 element here. So we have three methods. We have basically three methods of adding styles to our markup file. So we have the first one is the inline style. So to demonstrate the inline style, so I'll be demonstrating that now. Okay, so we'll be using the style attributes in our tag. So the style attributes. Then let me give example. Let's say I want to change the particular color of my heading. So I can just use color here. Then let's say red. So let's say I have welcome. Let's say I have welcome to CSS Scratch course. Yeah, let's check our browser. So we can see that there's a change in the color of our text. So inline style means styling our HTML file directly in the tag. So we style that directly in the tag. So another way of styling our HTML is using the internal method. So this is also done in our HTML file, or it is done in the edge section. So I can use the style tag as I've shown us yesterday. Style tag. So, okay, let's say I have let me have each one here. And let me just change. Let me give it a background. A background color of let's say pink. So if I check that, so you can see that uh we have a background color. So this is to, as I explained, this is to show the emphasis on a block element. So we can see that actually the H1 contains the whole width of the screen. So we can see it from here all the way down to here. So in HTML, this is a basic method of writing CSS. So this is called the selector. So it is a way of selecting a particular element in our HTML. So this is our declaration. So this is our declaration block, starting from this first curly brackets to the end curly brackets. So it is our declaration box. So that means the declaration is starting from this first curly bracket and the declaration is ending here. So this is called a property. It's called a property. So it is actually used to design a particular value. So let's say for this property, I want to style my background. So background is the property, and how do I want it to look like? So I can just give it a color of pink. So this here is our value. This is our value to style or to give values to our property. Then the other method, which is best method and the method you'll be seeing most especially, it is the external method. So here it's by styling, by using the inline style of designing your HTML. So it makes your HTML looks very cumbersome, and you are more prone to make lots of mistakes and errors. So the best method is to create an external file and then link it to your HTML. So I can then come to my CSS folder and create a new file with the .css extension. So I can have index.css. Okay. So this is our CSS folder, and let's say I want to give uh okay, let's say I want to give the body a background. So let's say I want the body, I want to change the background. Let's say I want to change the background to black. So I can have here. Okay, sorry, we've not linked our CSS file to the HTML. So I can then come here in the edge section. I can import my file. So we use the link tag to import our CSS. So the same way I taught us how to check for directory if we want to import image. So it's the same way. So I can say CSS because my CSS file is in the CSS folder. Then index.css. So our CSS file is linked to the HTML using the link tag. So if you check our browser, you can see that the background has changed to black. So there are methods of writing your colors. So this here is using hexadecimal codes. So you can actually use text. So let's use text. Let's say I want a color of sorry. Let's say I want a color of white. So I can use white. So if we check our browser, we can see. Okay, let's get rid of inline code. So I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this, and I can get rid of this too. So we'll be designing majorly from our CSS file. Okay. So if you check our browser, we can see that there's a change. So this is a way of writing our colors. So you can either use words and you can use hexadecimal codes here, and you can use RGB codes. So we can see if you over your colors, so you can see this is an RGB code. So this stands for red, green, and blue. And in our RGB code, we can also we can determine the opacity of our colors too. So let's say I come here, I can just type in RGBA. So you can see that then black will be 0. Let's say I want an opacity of 0.5. So you can see that the black reduces in its intensity. So you don't need to worry about the hexadecimal codes. You can just, as you progress, you continue to know more. So you can use any of your choice. Okay. Let's come here. So let me change this to a p tag. So let's say we have welcome to CSS crash course. CSS crash course. So we can see our browser. Okay, we can. Sorry. So let me have another p tag here. Let me have a lorem, a dummy text. Okay. Let me just break this more. Okay, I think that's better. Okay. So if you check, let's check our browser for that. So we can see this here. So there are many ways which you can use to style your HTML. So let me just get rid of this. So this is the normal. So as I said yesterday, the browser has its default margin and padding. Okay. So let's start with, there are different ways to which you can select your select your tags and design from the CSS. So is either we have the tag selector. So that is, you can specifically call the name of the tag in your CSS file. Another way is to use something called a class. Okay, so let's have a class here. So let's give this head. So I can then come here. Then I have .head. So this is to tell the CSS file that I'm picking a class called head in my HTML document. So let's come here. So I'll be teaching us something on text formation. Okay, so let's say I want to increase the, let's, okay, uh, give me a few minutes. I'll be back to us.